Now over to Dipti ma'am. Please welcome our guest, our resource person.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I, Deepthi Ranjan, on behalf of RRIFG Lucknow, welcome you all in the third session of AKTU sponsored FDP on data management. I feel privileged to introduce Dr. Munish Chand Trivedi sir. Dr. Trivedi sir presently working as an associate professor in CAC department at National Institute of Technology, Tripura. Sir has filed 19 patents and author of more than 40 number of books. He also published more than 118 plus research papers. Sir has also edited more than 30 books. He received various awards, including Young Scientist Visiting Fellowship, Best Senior Faculty Award, Outstanding Scientist Dronacharya Award, Author of Year and Vigyan Rath Award. He also very keen in research and organized number of international conferences. Once again, I welcome Dr. M.C. Trivedi sir and request to share valuable knowledge with participant faculty members. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So I have to share the screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can share your screen, sir.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Visible, visible.
Okay, thank you. So today I will discuss some basic on data security and how we can move forward. Uh, Basically, the research related in the security domain. Basically, as we all are the faculty members, so we have gone through the subject data security, we have gone through the cyber security and various security aspects. But as I have starting my presentation, so I will start from the basic only. Whenever we are discussing about the data, so data, as we know, is like something raw facts, and whenever we are dealing with our online domain in our online platform, so we can say we are storing our data in network server, personal computer, and emails and many other uh, parameters. So whenever we are storing our data on the third party, or we are storing our data on mail, we are storing our data on some personal computers, in office computer. So security of data is very important, because data is very crucial. And like whenever we are dealing with the public systems in our office systems, and when it is not limited that any user can open the system, and if we have some private data, then the security of data is very much necessary. So I will start from the concept of security. So what is the basic aspect of security without which security cannot survive? Means how we can ensure that any system to be completely secure. So what is the basic aspect of security? So I start from the conversation like, what is the basic aspect of human life without which human cannot survive? So basic aspect somehow related with the terminology without which that particular thing cannot survive. So, may I ask from the faculty members, can anyone come forward and tell me what is the basic aspect of security without which security cannot survive? Can anyone?
faculty members,
No one is.
it is up to you.
No. Yes, yes. Avinash ji. Avinash ji, you have raised the hand. Do you want to say something? So it means no one is ready to explain the basic aspect. So I am going to elaborate. Like I want to relate this basic aspect of security with the basic aspect of human life. So whenever we are discussing about the basic aspect of human life, so generally the peoples are saying the basic aspect of human life is roti, kapda or makan. But somehow if we go through like roti, kapda or makan, so if we do not get the food, we can survive for some day. If we do not get the cloth, we can survive for full day, someday. And if we do not get the shelters, we do not have the house and home, then also we can survive for some day. But if it is the month of May and June and there is very hot and we do not get the water for 5 days, so I don't think it is practically possible to survive. So in general, we can say Pani is the basic aspect for human life, without which human cannot survive. We can survive with roti and kapda or makan for few days, but without the water, it is very difficult to survive even for the few days because it is very much necessary. So we can say it is the basic aspect of human life to survive. Okay, sometimes the people are saying air is also important to survive the human life. If we do not get the air, we cannot survive. Yes, it is true. Air is also the basic aspect of human life. But like if we go through the water, pani. So pani is if we relate in the chemistry terms. So pani is having the H2O. It means water is containing the oxygen also. So in general, we can say Pani is the basic aspect of human life without which human cannot survive. Similarly, I am going to say that Pani is the basic aspect of security without which security cannot survive. So Pani is the basic aspect of security also. I request other members to kindly mute themselves. It is creating the noise. So Pani is the basic aspect of security without which we cannot ensure the security of any system. But here the meaning of Pani is different. Like in our for human life, Pani is simply our water that we are going to drink. But in case of security, the meaning of Pani is different. P for privacy, A for authentication, N for non-repudiation, and I for integrity. So whenever we want to secure our data, whenever we want to secure our network platform, it is very much required that it should be completely private. It is not that anyone is coming into our system and they are opening the system, they are playing with our data. So the system should be completely private. P for privacy. Then A for authentication. Whenever anyone wants to enter into our data system, he or she should be properly verified. Means proper authentication should be there. Without the proper authentication, we cannot allow even a single person to enter into our database and he is not allowed to play with the data. So proper authentication is required. And for non-repudiation. Non-repudiation means no one can deny. Like if any person, Mr. X has opened the system with his login credential, and if something happened with the data, then he cannot say that I have not done it because he is allowed after the proper authentication, proper verification of the login credential. So if any mishappening happens with the data, that person is completely responsible for the loss of the data. So we can easily track the person who is going to hamper the data, who is going to steal the data, who is going to change our data. So that is the non-repudiation. If we relate our non-repudiation with computer network, so we can say that like whenever the sender is sending some information to the receiver, the sender is not start sending the data creating a channel between the sender and receiver. First, the sender is sending a blank message to the receiver that I am going to send the data packet. Are you ready to receive it? Once the sender receiving the acknowledgement from the receiver side that I'm ready to receive the data, then only the sender is sending the data to the receiver. So once a connection is established between the sender and receiver, so after that, neither the sender nor the receiver can deny that they have not sent the data, they have not received the data. Fourth point is I, that is integrity. Integrity means whenever we are traveling, sending the data over the network, whenever we are storing our data on the online platforms. So data should always be stored in the form of packets. So integrity means always we are sending the data or we are storing the data into the form of packets. We are not storing our loose data. Like if we want to send some letter to someone and that letter is private and we want to have the privacy of that letter, so it is not that we simply write on the letter and we put the address and send that letter to that particular person. We first writing the letter, then we are putting into the envelope, then we are writing the address, and we after make proper seal, we are sending through the courier or speed post. So similarly the same systems we are following in the online platform also. We are not sending our loose data, we are always sending the data into the form of packet, that is the integrity. So I think it is clear to all of you that Pani is the basic aspect of security also. Without Pani, we cannot ensure the security of our system. We have to make sure the concept of Pani in our secure system. So what is secure system? So whenever we want to describe about the secure system, so we can say when the system is secure, when the system is not secure. So like if our system is prone to virus, our system is prone to some hackers, then our system is obviously not secure. But if our system is able to handle the various types of virus, Trojan horses, and hackers. And if we have implemented some of the services without through which we can get the information, whenever anyone wants to hack our system, whenever anyone wants to steal our data, interpret our data, then we can, if we are able to easily trap that particular person. Devendra ji, kindly mute yourself. Devendra ji, kindly mute yourself. So if we are able to handle these types of situations, then we can say our system is secure. And if we are not able to handle these types of situations, then we can say system is not secure. Now we are moving about the data security, because today's talk is on data security. So whenever we want to discuss the data security, basically it is refers to the protecting measure of securing data from unapproved access and data corruption. So that we have said in the basic aspect of security, that first are privacy and authentication. So data security is just the protection of data, securing of data from unapproved access. Unapproved access means the person is not properly authenticated. If we are allowing anyone to enter into our system without the proper authentication, then he can play with the data, he can corrupt the data, he can change the data. But if we are having the proper authentication system, and if we have implemented the first two aspects of the security, that is privacy and authentication, then we can make sure our data security. So data security is just, you can say, crux of protecting your digital information, your digital data from unauthorized access, from the corruption, or from the theft. So we have to have the first two aspects to achieve the data security. Once we implement the privacy and authentication, then we can, when we are not allowing anyone to enter into the system without the proper authentication, then he cannot have the unauthorized access, he cannot corrupt our data, he cannot theft our data, he cannot modify our data. So data security basically involves the use of various methods to make secure that data is corrupt, and it is totally private and it is safe. So whenever we want to discuss about the data security, so data security includes ensuring the integrity of data, ensuring the privacy of data, and prevent the loss or destruction of the data. So first, ensuring the integrity of data. That is our core aspect of security, integrity. So then privacy, first aspect of our security, and prevent the loss or destruction. That is basically related with the authentication or non-repudiation. Authentication means we are allowing the person to enter into the system after the proper verification, proper authentication. And after that, if any mishappening, any theft, any changes in the data, any corruption in the data is there, so we can easily trap that particular person that he has used his login credential. So basically, we can say data security basically includes all the four basic aspects of the security, that is privacy, authentication, integrity, and non-repudiation. Diamonds of system security or data security. So basically, in our, if any question in between, you can ask freely. You can raise the hand, you can type in the comment section, or you can ask. So basically, next is dimensions of system security. In an internet environment, basically there are various types of risk are associated. There are various types of that can basically hamper our data, that can corrupt our data in the online platform. So the first dimension is the physical dimension. Pravinji, are you want to say something?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So first dimension is the physical dimension, and the physical dimension basically, if we want to describe the security issues, so physical dimensions basically like your computer must be physically inaccessible to the unauthorized user. Like if you are having your office system, you are having your personal computer at home or at office or in your lab. So the physical aspect, physical dimension of the system security is saying that you first protect your system, that it is not easily accessible, physically inaccessible to the unauthorized user. This means that you must keep them in a secure physical environment. So your PC, your laptop, your mobile should be not easily available to the unauthorized user. Next dimension of the security is hello. Next dimension of the security is personal. It means like person, the people who is responsible for system administration and data security at your site must be reliable. You may need to perform background checks on DBAs before making any hiring decision. Like if you have hired some person and you appoint that person for the organization security, and if you do not know about the credentials of that person, you do not know how that person is. So if that person is not good for that particular hiring, so it is not advised that you hire any DBA who is not having any background on the security handling, and even if he is having you can say uh, he involved in some illegal activities, he is basically prone to data theft, or he is having some such types of background. So the personal aspect, the personal dimension of the security basically related to the, he always have a vigilant eye on the person who is basically responsible for the administration of data. So you carefully hire the person. Third aspect, third dimension of the system security is procedural. The procedure basically used in the operations of your system must ensure reliable data. For example, one person must be responsible for database backup, but if you want to have the, so you can appoint the separate team. You have the separate procedure for the handling of data. You can create the replicas of data. You can create the backups of the data. and those backups of data should be procedurally independent to each other. It is not just possible that if you are making any change to any one particular file, if that file is stored at three locations, so if changing at one location, if it is changed at all the location, then procedurally it is not good for our system security. So in a procedural way, it is advised that if you are making the backups of the data, so in the backup, the changes is not allowed to happen without the proper verification by the DBA who is responsible for the data check, or the administration who is responsible for the security of the data. Fourth dimension is the technical dimension, and the technical dimension basically is responsible for the storing of data, access of the data. Access of the data means basically we give the rights. We will give the right of only reading. We will give the right of only modification. So accordingly, we will decide the right to the different person, because we cannot give the all the rights to all the person. So in technical, we have to decide how we are going to store the data, how we are going to provide the access to different person, how we are allowing the manipulation and transmission of data, so that data must be safeguarded. We have to implement the proper technical policies to make sure the security of our data. Next topic is the basic component of security. So basic component of security is, somehow you can say, is the subset of basic aspect of security. Basic aspect of security is PANI: privacy, authentication, non-repudiation, and integrity. But basic component of security, if we remove the that non-repudiation, then it is the basic component of security. So basic component of security is basically having the three factors, and if we are able to achieve all three factors, if you go through that figure, so in figure, first one is the confidentiality, who is authorized to use the data, then integrity is data is in a good position or not, and availability, like when we are allowing any one person to access the data. So if at the particular moment we are able to achieve all these three aspects, all these three components, then only we can say the system is secure. So as is written, where all the three dimensions is there, all the three component is there. So once we are able to achieve all the three components, then we can say the system is secure. So the basic component of security, we have already mentioned that they are encoded into the system data, organization, organization, and we have specialized norms for data collection, workflow, and storage. Reliable non-repudiation norms for real-world implementation make their checking of TCP so these are the three components of the security. So we are going to protect the data. So the threats that data security poses and we are system is safe. So these are the things. We want to change the data safe and secure. As the integrity aspect, it is authorized so we have to make sure that every writer, subroutine, like sometimes we get the mail that we are getting the that that is your password. So sometimes some of the email information is given that this is the Raspberry Pi. So this is some unauthorized file is there, and that can harm your computer. So as a security aspect, it is our prime responsibility to identify how we can identify the malware, how we can identify the computer virus. So computer virus, or you can say malware, they are the like just like you can say some of the computer program, some of the computer code is written in that, and if you are going to open, so that is going to harm your computer, that is going to harm your data. So we have to deal with the hackers, security hackers, those who are trying to uh, theft our data. We have to taken care of malware and computer virus in order to have the security in our system. So various threats to a computer system, various threats to a computer system like accidents and natural disasters may be there, like floods, winds, and earthquakes, and accidents like such as fire, power failure, and breakdown. So, if any accident and natural disaster is there, then also there is a chance that our data will be lost, our data will be corrupted. So we have to also take into consideration these natural disasters and accidents. We have to have the proper plan for these natural and accidental problems. And for these type of problems, we are normally using the concept of replication and backup of the data. And for the accident like power failure or fire, we are normally using the power backup so that suddenly, whenever we are working on the system, so that suddenly the system will not shut down. And if the system is going to be shut down immediately, sometimes the data which we are working is lost. So we have to make the proper plan for the accidents and natural disasters also. High risk factor from computer abuse like high vulnerability, violation of control of separation ability, the manipulation of large amount of data, and impersonal nature of the system. These are some of the high risk factors that can harm our data. Human initiated, you can say, like the hackers, unaware staffs, and dissatisfied staff. Sometimes the hackers are also involved in your data theft. They are also involved in data manipulation and corruption of data. Sometimes our internal staff, uh, they are also involved, or they are also working as a threat to our data. How? Like unaware staff, the staff members who is not having the technical knowledge, the person who is not having the knowledge of that, what, how important that data it is. So by no knowledge, or because he is unaware of the security aspect, he is unaware about the data importance. So he is sometimes playing with the data, and that data is lost or it is manipulated. Sometimes the dissatisfied staff, the staff who is not satisfied, so he basically do some misbehave with the data. And spy is also one of the it is responsible for the security of the data. So we have to protect data from all these: data security, data protection, and data privacy. So basically, data security is often, you can say, confused with the term like data protection and data privacy. Because if in general, if we discuss about in general, so in general it seems data security is like data protection and data security, they are all three terms, but they are not the same term, they are the different terms. So data security is basically related with the protecting of your data against unauthorized access or the use that could result in exposure, deletion, or corruption of data. An example of data security will be using encryption to prevent hackers from using our data. So with the help of encryption, we can have the data security in some way. It is not that by using the encryption we can have 100% data security. It is not practically possible. But if we are using the proper encryption, we can say we are able to manage the data security in some way. Data protection basically refers to the creation of backups or duplication of data. That is the data protection. Data security is just to have the unauthorized access.
So data security is basically dealing with the to ensure that there is no unauthorized access. Second point, encryption is there. So data security is dealing with two aspects, prevent unauthorized access and have the encryption in our system. But data protection is creation of backup or duplication of data. Creation of backup means we will create a backup data, we will create the replicas of data, and that backup and that you can say the replicas of the data is able to handle the accidental loss. Like some natural disaster is there, some accident is there. So in that case, if we are properly implemented the data protection techniques, like if we have created the proper backup, we have created the replication of data, then we are able to handle the natural disasters and accidents. So basically data protection you can say it is basically used in the natural disasters and accidents, and the objective of data protection is just to have the backup replication of the data.
And data privacy,
Basically, you can say refers to the how the data is handled, like how we can decide the regulatory concern, how we can decide the notification, how we are deciding the different type of access, like if 100 persons are working in our organization. So we cannot give all the rights to all the persons. It is the responsibility of the administration, it is the responsibility of the data uh, security handler, our DBA, that they will decide what access permissions they are going to give to the different persons. So that is the data privacy. Means we have to decide how we can ensure the privacy of data, how we can achieve the security of data. So in order to achieve the data security, in order to achieve the data protection, we have to decide the philosophy, we have to decide the technique so that we can achieve the data privacy. And data privacy is achieved with the help of privacy and authentication.
first we have to
Decide what types of permission has to given to the particular person, and then we will give the proper login ID password, login credential to each and every person who is involving in the handling of the data, so that whenever they are entering into the system, we can have a clear watch on them that what they are going to do with the data. So that is the data privacy. So I think the three terms are now clear to all of you.
so
Again, I am revising the three terms. Data security is basically responsible to protect unauthorized access, and we are using the encryption. Data protection is basically dealing with the natural disasters and accident, and for this we are using the backups and replication of the data. And data privacy is basically related with the concept that we will decide the policy, we will decide the methodology, how we are going to give the access permissions to the different persons of the organization, and we will have the proper monitoring of the system. So that is our data privacy. If any question, you can ask.
next is
Data security components.
so whenever we are
Discussing about the data security component, so data security component is somehow related with the access control. Like the access control is a method, you can say the mechanism, is a terminology that is used. And the objective of this access control is to restrict the access to the sensitive data. As we have said in the last data privacy, that we cannot give the permission to all the employees of our organization that they can play with the data whenever they want. We are deciding the policy, we are making the policy that this person is responsible for this particular work, this person is responsible for this. So we are deciding that this person can use this data, this person can use this data. So access control, data security component is access control. We are going to make a proper philosophy, we are going to make a proper, you can say, the access policy, and with that access policy, we are giving the login credential to all the persons, and we are having the clear watch. We are clearly monitoring the system. And whenever we want to implement the access control, so it is basically in general is having the five main components. First one is authentication. Authentication means like whenever anyone wants to enter into the database, whenever anyone wants to open our computer system, so he or she can is allowed to enter into the system after the proper verification. Okay, but if we are if he is playing something like our online data, like our data is stored in the cloud, and if he wants to access that data that is stored in the public or private cloud, so he is basically he can use the data with the help of login credentials also, or he can use the data also with the help of digital certificates. So we have to verify the digital certificate as well as we have to check the login credential of that particular person. So in order to have the access control, we have to ensure the 100% authentication mechanism in our system. We have to have the 100% authentication mechanism in our system, and we have to verify the login credential as well as the digital certificate of that particular person. Second point is the authorization. Authorization is the function of specifying access right or privilege to resources. Like if Mr. X is there and we have given the permission of Mr. X to only read the data. So we have to ensure the authorization of that particular person that Mr. X has logged in into the system after the proper authentication, but he is not allowed to manipulate the data. He is not allowed to modify the data. So we cannot allow him to modify the data. So whenever any person is entering into our online system, we have to check the access right of that particular person. If he is allowed to read only, then he is only allowed to read. If he is allowed to read, write and modify, he can allow to read, write and modify. So that is the authorization. We have to check the access right of that particular person. Third point is access. Once authenticated and authorized, the person can access the resource. Okay, we have checked the proper authentication, we have checked the authorization. After that, that person can use the resources. That is the access. We are giving the access as per the authorization. Fourth point is manage. Managing and access control the system include like
क्यों क्या करना उसको टेस्ट कर लीजिए सर, पूछ लेते हैं ना, कुछ ट्राई कर लेते हैं। नहीं है सर, नहीं है सर, नहीं है, साउंड टेस्ट कर लेते हैं।
So we are making the backups of the data, we are making the replications of data, and major objective of data protection is just to have the high level security of our data. And whenever we are capturing the data, we are storing the data, we are using the data, we are transporting the data. So, like we have allowed any Mr. X to enter into the system, he is playing with the data. If we have not taken any backup, so if any changes is he has done with the data, so we are unable to identify what change that particular person has done, how we have he update the data, how he has deal with the data. So, in order to minimize the risk, in order to have a good decision, like if he has done the right updation in the data, we are allowing to update the data. But if he has not done the right things, then we are not allowing to update the data. So, how we can verify whether the right decision or right updation is done? That is possible if we have make a proper backup of our data system. Second point is data subject security and safety. So sensitive data about a person like clearly cannot be subjected to that person. So we are if I have entered into the system, if I have make some of the changes for myself, so that changes are available to me for my personal use, but that changes are not allowed into the complete system. In complete system, that changes are only allowed if that is approved by the administration or the DB. So that is the data protection. Main objective is to deal the natural disasters in accident, and for we are using the data backups and replications. Third point is monitoring. Monitoring somehow you can say refer to the security information system monitoring or security event monitoring. And the objective of security monitoring basically involves the collection and analyzing of information, and it is basically to detect suspicious activity or the unauthorized system change to your user. Like if I have after the proper authentication and authorization, if I have given the permission to edit the data, to modify the data, and if DBA is not monitoring my activity, if the administration is not monitoring my activity, and if I have done something bad with the data, so how DBA can identify who has done the mistakes with the data, who has theft the data? So that's why the monitoring is very much responsive, important. You can say activity in the data security, and the objective of the monitoring is just it has to keep a vigilant eye on all the users who are going to use your online data. They are checking the completely what type of modification, what type of editing and updation and new things has to be done with the data. And basically, the DBA or the administration or top level management who is dealing with the data security are responsible for the monitoring of the data. And they are basically advised to have the clear cut control on user access, clear cut control on the activities they are doing with the data. And they have to basically whenever the any changes is going to be happen into the system, so that change to be done in the database or not, that is decided by the that monitoring committee only. Factors of data security. So factors of data security like confidentiality, that specify the sender and receiver should be able to access the content of data. So next point is authentication. It is mechanism to establish proof of identity. We are not allowing anyone to enter into the data without the proof of authentication. So authentication is also an important factor. Then integrity, we have already discussed. The integrity means whenever we are sending our data, we are always sending data into the form packet. We are not sending the loose data over the internet. And non-repudiation means no one can deny. Once the sender and receiver has created a virtual connection after sending the blank packet. So after that, the sender, neither the sender nor the receiver can deny that they have not sent the data, they have not received the data. So in computer network also we are using the concept of non-repudiation. In security also we are using the concept of non-repudiation. And the meaning is just to once we have confirmed something, that if I have confirmed to you that I will deliver my lecture on 4 p.m. So after that, if I am denying, so that will create problem to you also, and this is not good for me also. That is the non-repudiation. Non-repudiation means when the sender is going to send the data to the receiver. So sender is sending the blank message, hello packet, that I am going to send some data to you. Once he received the acknowledgement from receiver that I am ready to receive the data. So after that, neither the sender nor the receiver can deny that they have not initiated the communication. Access control we have already discussed, and that is basically is to decide the various types of methodology that is devised how we are going to control our data, how we are giving the different types of permissions to the different types of users. And availability is basically the principle of availability states that resources should be available to authorized user all the time. ठीक है? If any user which is authorized to use the data, so he is able to use the data if he is properly verified with his login credentials, if he is properly verified by the digital certificate, so he can use the data stored on the public cloud or private cloud all the time, because he is the authorized user and he is giving the permission to have the access of the data. So data availability to all the authorized users should be made available to all the time. Data security life cycle. The life cycle of data security basically starts from the creation to destruction. So it starts from the creation of data and it will end once we are destroying that particular data. Although we saw some of the, like whenever we are creating the data. So this is, you can say like create and update. In both the cases, whenever we are creating new database or in the cases when we are updating our database, so you can see a new entry is done into the database or the entry is updated into the database, and that is treated as the creation of database. Storing of data, like whenever we are any data that is created or that data is updated. So once we done the commit, so it means we have going to store that data. So after the commit, that data is stored in the storage repository, and that can be accessed by the data retrieval methods. And use of data, like we can view the data, we can process the data, or we can apply some of the sorting activity on the data and share the data, like we are going to extend the data between the different users. We are going to exchange the data between the customers. We are going to exchange the data between the partners. These are the shares of data. And archive of data, like data leaves, data are inactive. But if the data is not useful for longer time, so we can archive the data. If we are archiving the data, so that is basically, you can say, saving our storage space. Like we can relate this with our cache memory. It is not possible to have all the data in the cache memory or main memory. So always in cache memory, we are storing those data which is required frequently, which we are going to access in near future. And other data which is not required to be accessed in near future, we normally move that data to the secondary storage. So that's why archiving is basically related, that we always keep main data in our main storage, and the other data is stored in the secondary storage. And destroy the data, basically it is related with the data is permanently destroyed using physical or digital means. So if we the data is not useful to us, or if we want to create some new data for the new work, and so the data which is not useful, we can destroy that particular data. That this is the data security life cycle. We can create, we can store, use, share, archive, and destroy the data as per our demand. Objective of data security or data security goals. So the objective, resource protections, it is dealing with the authentication, it is dealing with the authorization, then integrity and persistency. So it that is related with protecting data against unauthorized access. Means we are going to make our system private. Only authorized user are allowed to use the data. Unauthorized, we cannot allow any unauthorized user to access the data. Second one is the compliance activity that meet data privacy and security reporting guidelines. So we are making the clear cut guidelines. We are making the clear cut access policy. So that is the compliance. Integrity, always keeping data consistent and free from errors or anomalies. We are always having the data into the form of packets. Availability means the users which are the authorized users. So it is the responsibility of data administration that they will provide access of data, the availability of data all the time to all authorized users. Importance of data security. So data security, you can say it is a subset of information security, and it is basically dealing with like that we have to make secure the safety of data. We have to make secure that data, our data is in secure hand. Our data is safely stored in the online or offline platform. And it is basically like if we are having our physical computer, so we have to have the physical access. If we are storing the data in our online platform, in the cloud storage, so we have to decide the proper authentication and authorization mechanism. We have to have the proper methodology, how we are going to handle the virus, how we are going to handle the hackers, how we are going to handle the malwares. So a simple user error also sometimes deleting the files or overwriting the files. So for that we are having the access control. So access control mechanism is also implemented into the data, uh, because the security of data is very important, and data secure basically is also important in some of the region. Like information system cannot perform the function unless data is accurate and complete. Another, a lot of information is very sensitive, such as personal data, medical data, credit card information, and banking details also. So we have to make secure the proper mechanism for different types of data. It is not possible to have the same philosophy, same technology, same methodology for all types of data. So depending upon the types of data we are going to use, depending upon the various methodology, we are deciding, and this deciding based on the types, whether this is our personal data, whether this is our organizational data, and whether this is medical data. So as per the types that we are deciding the different types of security mechanism to have the proper data security in our system. Data security challenges, as we have already discussed, challenges, the basic, we have all the four aspects of security. We have to have the privacy, authentication, integrity, and non-reputation. And whenever we are want to have the data protections, then to have the encryptions also. And encryption is somehow, you can say, is related with the cryptography. In cryptography, is like we have to implement some of the security methodology whenever we want to send some data to some receiver. So we are not sending the plain data. We are applying the various types of key: public key cryptography, private key cryptography. And with the help of that cryptography methodology, substitution ciphers, transposition ciphers, and other encryption algorithms, we are encrypting our plain text into the encrypted text. And that encrypted text is sent to the receiver. And receiver is also having the encryption mechanism, because he is the right receiver, he is the authorized receiver. So if he is the right receiver or authorized receiver, so he knows the privacy.
Driving bus to see if
And with that decryption, he can decrypt the data and get the
Google Drive
original data. So in this way, with the help of encryption and decryption methodology, we are having, including the, you can say, the data security in our database. I'm going to elaborate some more concepts. Like before 2017, we are only using the cryptography to secure the data. Means we are only having the encryption and decryption methodology to secure our data. But if I relate this with one of the example, like we know the two terms. That is, one is cryptography and another one is the steganography. So cryptography is the art of encrypting text. Means we are not sending our plain data, we are sending the encrypted data. We are sending the encrypted data. And in order to encrypt the data, we are using the private key and we are using the public key. So either the private key cryptography or public key cryptography is used to encrypt and decrypt the data as per our requirement. But like if I relate this with the one of the example, like the government want to say send, or I want to send any person who are going to send the gold from one place to another, and gold is in very large amount. So gold is in a large amount. So if we use the concept of cryptography, so cryptography is saying like we have to devise the encryption, decryption, and security mechanism. If we are using the concept of cryptography, so what we will do, we will put the gold into the boxes, then we apply the locks on the boxes, and all locked boxes are put into the trucks. Then again we lock the truck, and then we appoint the security guard to protect the gold. This is the cryptography. Means we are using all the way, we are encrypting all the ways to secure our data. So in order to secure the gold during transportation from one place to another, what we have done, we put the gold into the boxes, then we apply the locks on the boxes, then locked boxes are put on into the truck, and again truck is locked, and appoint the security guard over the truck to have the safeguard of the gold. If some hackers is there, means some persons who are ready to tap the gold, they are on the way. So if they see the truck, that this truck is very in tight security, like security guards are also appointed, the truck is properly locked with the help of heavy locks. So they can easily guess that something important is going on. And if they know that gold is coming on the way, so by seeing such types of truck, they can easily identify that yes, the gold may be in this truck. So if they are having sufficient manpower for the looting of gold, so they can easily kill the security guard. They can break the locks, and then they break the locks of the you can say boxes, and they can easily take the gold. So how we can say with the help of cryptography we can ensure the complete security of data? We cannot ensure. If we are using the pure cryptography, it is not possible at all to have the 100% security in our system. So with the help of pure cryptography or only cryptography, we cannot guarantee that it is secure, because once the hackers are able to identify the channel through which the data is going to be sent from sender to receiver, they are easily to get the data, they are easily to take the things. So in this way we can say cryptography is not 100% secure through secure. Another concept is steganography that we are using for the security purpose. And steganography is, you can say, is the art of hiding the things. Cryptography is the art of encryption, but steganography is the art of hiding the things. So if it is art of hiding the things, if I give you the gold example, if you want to send the gold from one place to another place with the help of cryptography, steganography concept, so in steganography क्या होगा? We are going to hide the gold. We are going to create environment so that the hackers are unable to identify that something important is going in this truck. So steganography is related with two concepts, that is hiding of things and creation of environment. Cryptography is encryption and decryption, while steganography is you can say art of hiding things and creating of environments. So hiding of things means we put the gold into the boxes, then we put the leaves, garbage, and other trees over the gold. It is environment is created. Means if some leaves, some garbage, some plants are going into the truck, so no one can easily think that gold is going in this, because generally if we are seeing the garbage in the truck, if we are seeing the plants or trees in the truck, so we cannot assume that below these garbage gold is there. So this is the steganography, means we created the environment and we hide the things. But if somehow the hackers or thieves who are planning to loot the gold, if they are on the way, if somehow anyhow they guess that below these garbage the gold is there, so they can easily take the gold, because no locks is there, no encryption is there, no decryption is there, no security guard is there. So they can easily take the gold. So in this way we can say steganography is not providing proper solution for the security. But in general, if we say in the last 10 to 15 years, either we are using the cryptography or we are using the steganography to secure our data, online data, data protection. But with this example, we can say neither the cryptography nor the steganography is providing the security. So how we can handle this? So in 2017, this came into my mind, and I start working on the metamorphic cryptography. So if you search on the Google, if you write research paper on the metamorphic cryptography, so I can say around 80 to 90% papers on metamorphic cryptography is written by me only, or my PhD or PG students. So metamorphic cryptography is the combination of cryptography and
Clara है
steganography.
10 8 9 साल
So we are combining both the approach and given the name of metamorphic cryptography. So if we first we create the environment with the help of steganography. We are hiding the data with the help of steganography, and then we are applying the encryption or decryption. Or we can say first we apply the cryptography, then we apply the steganography. So if we combine both the approach, then it is very easy to have the high level of security in our system. So this is a new field you can say, because the research is started in metamorphic cryptography from 2017 also, 17 onwards, and my SCI on this metamorphic cryptography is published in 17 only. So this is just a 3 years old field you can say, and you can also start working on this metamorphic cryptography new field. The persons who are going to research in the security domain. So we are discussing about the security challenge. So minimizing the data security threats, and in order to minimize the data security threats, we have to discover and identify the threat. If we want to minimize the threats, so first we have to discover and identify the threats. Like in order to discover and identify the threats, we have to conduct the assessment, and that assessment can be conducted on asset inventory. We have to identify the threat resources and events. We have to identify the vulnerability that are possible, and we have to determine the threat likelihood, impact, and risk. Another aspect that is securing the perimeter and protecting the assets. So with the help of network segregation and firewalls, and with the help of limiting open interfaces and least privilege principle and hardening, we can minimize the data security threats. And in this way, we can say we can have the high level of data security in our system. Data security strategies. So data security strategy, you can say, can be achieved with the help of data security and compliance, enforce and protect, monitor and audit. So data security and compliance means we have to develop, we have to deploy, and we have to enforce the security policy, and that policy is having the clear cut guidelines, that policy is having the clear cut security objectives,
मैडम लॉगिन
and
कीजिएगा
it is compulsory
बेटा
for
मैडम
all the users that they will have the proper compliance of these security guidelines whenever they are using the data, whenever they are processing, accessing the data, or whenever they are trying to modifying the data. So they have to follow completely the security policy that are developed and deployed by the organization. So in this way, we can say that with this we can achieve the data security. Another one is enforce and protects. Enforce data security policy. Like it is not possible that we simply devise a policy and we put the policy guideline on the website of our organization. We have to enforce that security guideline and enforce data security policy with alerting and backlogging of sensitive data access. So whenever any one person wants to open some sensitive file, some sensitive folder is there. So if he is going to open that sensitive folder, so a alarm is coming that this data is very sensitive, open carefully and perform the operation on data carefully. So if such types of alarm is coming, the person may be vigilant. So he will open the data in a sensitive manner, and he will try to have the proper security expectations on that particular folder. So we have to enforce and we have to apply the different alerting and alarming on the data as per the sensitivity, sensitive data is there. Third one is the monitor and audit. Monitor data like time to time, the DBA, the database administrations, the higher authorities who are responsible for the security of data, they are basically have the proper monitoring on the data stores, proper monitoring on the data access, and the access rights of the person. Like if any person, whenever he is logging into the system, he is doing some misbehaving with the data. so that if DBA is properly monitoring with the data, if some person is again and again opening the illegal sites, so if we are properly monitoring our that particular things, so we can easily alarm, or we can give are opening such types of websites on the system. So that's why the monitoring and auditing is very much required to have the proper data security studies. Data security technology. In order to have the data security technology, we have to have the data auditing, we have to have the data risk assessment and data minimization. So data auditing means with proper data auditing solution, the IT administration, the database administration, they are giving the proper rights, and they are allowed to have the vigilant eye on the unauthorized changes on the data. So whenever anyone person wants to change any data, that change is going first the information is sent to the DBA or the IT administration. Once the DBA or IT administration is approving that particular change, then only that change is allowed to happen into the database. That is the data auditing. Data risk assessment means uh, data risk summarize the important findings such as expose data vulnerability, provide a detailed explanation of each vulnerability, and include the priority recommendations. So once any risk, there is a chance that any risk is going to be happen. So it is the DBA or the IT administration. They are advised to have the proper risk assessment. Like even in software engineering also we are having the risk analysis. So why we are having the risk analysis? Risk analysis is that identification of risk, analyzing of risk, monitoring and control. So we have to have the clear cut guideline. Risk analysis means we have to decide what to do, when to do and how to do. If this is the situation, what we have to do. If this is the situation, what we have to do. So we have to devise all the detailed methodology for different types of problem. And data minimization is, you can say data is liability nowadays. So data minimization is that whenever any destroying of data is there, theft of data is there, so we have to minimize the limited access of the sensitive data. We cannot allow all the person to access the sensitive, like if security data, country security data is there, so we cannot allow anyone can come and open the security data of our country. Only the chief of defense staff or some person who is basically responsible, they are only allowed to have that particular data. So this is the data minimization. Types of data security control. So understanding the importance of data security will help you formulate a plan to protect the data. And the types of data security control basically includes the authentication, the access control, backups and recovery, encryption, data masking, tokenization, deletion, and erase. So authentication, we have already discussed that whenever anyone wants to enter into our system, we cannot allow anyone persons to come and play with the data. We are allowing to the person only to enter into the system and to have the access of the data if he is the proper authenticated. Means he has the valid login credential, if he has the valid digital certification, if we are allowing the online access of the data. And access control is the mechanism that is basically deciding what we are giving the permission to different persons. Some persons are only allowed to give the read permission, some are allowed to give the read, write and modification permission. So that is decided by the person to person. So that is the access control. Backup and recovery means if we want to deal with the natural disaster, if we want to deal with the accident, so we should have the proper backups and recovery of our data. Encryption is there, means whenever we are sending the data into the online platform, so we always try to send the data in the encrypted form. We are not sending the plain data. We are sending the data after the proper encryption. Even we can also include the concept of metamorphic cryptography. Means first we encrypt the data, then we apply the steganography concept. And in this, you can say, if we are combining both the approach, cryptography and steganography. So this is providing a better security environment, and this is also you can say have the better security aspect, and this can ensure the safety of data. This can improve the data security. Tokenization and data masking. Tokenization is like if any person, Mr. X, is allowed to send some data, so he is giving some token. So based on the token, if he is having the right token, then only he is allowed to send the data. If he is not having the right token, then he is not allowed to write or update the data. Deletion and erasure is like if whenever we are going to delete the file, so file cannot be deleted at once. If we want to have the proper data security control, so deletion can be only possible if any person, Mr. X, wants to erase the data, wants to delete the data. So once when he apply the delete button, so that information is sent to the IT administration. That information is sent to the DBA. Once they approve that this deletion may be allowed, then only that deletion is allowed to happen into the system. So in this way, we can have a higher level of data security, and we can control the data security in a better way. Data security control. So I have discussed authentication, access control. If any problem in authentication and access control, we can discuss again. We have discussed the backups and recovery. We have discussed the encryption. We have discussed the masking, tokenization, deletion, and erasure. So if any problem in this, we can discuss again. Next, the technology available for computer security. So some of the common technology that are available for the security. Cryptography, we have already discussed. It is the encryption, decryption of data. Biometric system with the help of fingerprinting, ear biometrics, iris. Malicious code and antivirus solution. With the help of antivirus solutions, we can protect our data. We can apply the firewalls. We can have the intrusion detection systems in our organization. We can have the virtual private network so that the external members are not able to access our data. We can have the proper digital. Firewall is just as we know, it is working as a gatekeeper. So what the gatekeeper is doing?
Gatekeeper is just protecting the organization of the guys entry into the system. So it is working as you can say the gatekeeper, the computer security system. And this is basically controlling the flow of data
from one
computer
computer
to the other computer. So we can, if we are using a proper firewall, if we want to have the proper security, computer security in our system, so we can have the proper firewall in our system. And with the help of firewall, we can monitor the all incoming and outgoing traffic.
and
We can monitor our incoming and outgoing traffic, and we can have the restrictions on incoming and outgoing traffic. we can have the access control on our incoming outgoing traffic. We can decide which person is responsible, which person is can allow to this particular
operation.
intrusion detection system is another technology that is available for the security. And intrusion detection system, like you can say a device or software application that monitor network or system activity for malicious activity or policy violations. Like you can relate this with like in the airport we are having some of the scanning machines. So similarly we can have some of the intrusion detection system, and that is basically you can say is a combination of firewall routers and IDS. We are including all these three concepts. So we are having the proper secure solution, and that is very much essential if the data is very sensitive. So we can have the intrusion detection system to secure our database. Another technology is virtual private network. So you can say it is basically a network. Virtual private network is a network that is basically constructed by using public wires to connect nodes. And we are using the proper encryption, we are using the proper security mechanism, and we are only allowing the authorized user to access the network. The unauthorized users are not allowed to enter into the system, they are not allowed to play with the data, they are not allowed to have the access of the data. So in this way, we can restrict the unauthorized access of data, and if we are able to restrict the unauthorized access of data, we can say with have virtual private network, we can achieve a data security up to a certain mark.
Next one is PKI
PKI
and
and
digital
digital
certificate.
certificate. PKI means public key infrastructure, or digital certificate means we are basically having the proper security with the help of public key cryptography or private key cryptography. And we are verifying the authenticity of the person, we are verifying the identity of person, and if that person is not authorized one, then we are terminating that particular certificate. So in this way, we can have the proper security in our computer system, and in this way we can say we are able to secure our data. Secure Cell basically is developed by SS Communication Security Limited, and it is basically a program logged into computer over a network. And whenever any person is going to have the access of the data, so it is basically a backup is created, and always the communication is done with the help of public key as well as the encryption is used. So in this way, the data security is improved up to a certain level. Secure socket layer, you can say, is also known as the transport layer security, and it is a transport layer security protocol, and that is developed by Netscape, and that is basically helps in transmitting private document over the internet. If we want to have if we want to transfer our private document over the internet in a secure manner, we can have the SSL encryption, secure socket layer encryption. So this is providing the highest level of security aspect. So generally in banking system, the SSL encryption is implemented.
So types of
Data
data
security,
security,
network,
network, layer security,
IP
IP
security,
security, and
and
email
email
security.
security. Network layer security means the cryptographic techniques also protect the TCP/IP Ethernet protocol, and that is basically designed for protecting email on the internet. If you are going to devise any methodology for
For
protecting
protecting
emails
emails
on
on
the
the
internet,
internet.
so
So
the
the
techniques
techniques
basically
basically
include
include
secure
secure
socket
socket
layer
layer
and
and
transport
transport
layer
layer
security.
security.
And
And
this
this
is
is
basically
basically
using
using
the
PGP
PGP protocol
protocol
also.
also.
And PGP
PGP
protocol
protocol
is
is
also
also
basically
basically
for
for
the
the
email
email
security.
security.
IPsec protocol, you can say, initially basically developed for the TCP/IP, and the basic objective is just have the authentication and encryption in the security. So if we want to achieve the authentication and authorization mechanism, we can use the IPsec protocol. And email security with the help of PGP, pretty good privacy, we can achieve the email security, and this is basically protecting the user and safeguard to access the content over the email account. So in order to have the security in our email account, we can use the pretty good privacy that is for email. Act for data security to protect data from various threats. A lot of act has been enacting. Some of these are the Privacy Act 1974, Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, Computer Security, Digital and Copyright Act, and many acts. Even in India also the ID Act is there. So with these acts, the data security in India, the Data Security Council of India, and that is a 25 norms for corporate company was set up as a independent self-regulatory organization by the NESCOM. And the objective of this DSCI is just to promote the data protection, to develop the security and privacy codes and standards, and encourage the IT and BPO industry to implement the same to have a proper data security in their organization.
So top data protections
Job,
job.
if you are a data security expert, so you can get the job as a data security specialist, you can get the job as a data controller, you can get job as a data protection officer, and even you are getting the job as a cyber security analyst. So this is a very good field if you are keen to have research, keen to learn on these technologies. So now the security is a major concern, so you can have the
And data security
trends
trends
in
in
AI
AI
also,
also,
artificial intelligence also is also cognitive computing and
deep
deep
learning.
learning. If we are able to combine these aspects, we are going to have the good trends. And multi-cloud security is also possible, and in quantum technology, revolutionary technology.
Many. So data security
Trends.
trends.
If we are, if we want to combine the AI or we want to combine the cognitive computing, so with these we can also have. And in data security, if we are able to have the AI or cognitive computing, so this is basically allowing in the rapid decision making. If we are able to have, if we want to have the rapid decision making, so we have to combine the data security with the cognitive computing or AI. The multi-cloud security, the definition of data security, as we have discussed since starting. So in order to have the proper security of data, proper protection of data,
it is advised that
we
we
should
should
have
have
the
the
private
private
clouds.
clouds.
And
And
if
if
we
we
are
are
using
using
the
the
public
public
cloud,
cloud,
so
so
we
we
would
would
have
have
the
the
proper
proper
authentication
authentication
and
and
authorization
authorization
in
in
our
our
system.
system.
So
So
depending
depending
on
on
the
the
types
type
of
of
cloud
cloud
we
we
are
are
using,
using,
public
public
or
or
private,
private,
we
we
have
have
to
to
decide
decide
our
our
security.
security.
Quantum,
Quantum,
like
like
it
it
is
is
a
a
revolutionary
revolutionary
technology.
technology.
Quantum
Quantum
promise
promise
to
to
offend
offend
many
many
traditional
traditional
technology.
technology.
And
And
if
if
we
we
are
are
using
using
the
the
encryption
encryption
algorithm,
algorithm,
and
and
if
if
we
we
are
are
able
able
to
to
devise
devise
the
the
technology,
technology,
we
we
can
can
secure
secure
our
our
system.
system.
So
So
we
we
have
have
already
already
discussed
discussed
the
the
various
various
things
things
related
related
to
to
the
the
data
data
security.
security.
It
It
is
is
a
a
very
very
vast
vast
field,
field,
very
very
and it is
it is
new
new
field.
field.
So
So
we
we
can
can
have
have
lots
lots
of
of
opportunity
opportunity
in
in
this
this
particular
particular
field.
field.
Currently,
Currently,
all
all
the
the
work
work
in
in
data
data
security
security
is
is
done
done
by
by
the
the
cryptography
cryptography
only.
only.
But
But
as
as
I
I
have
have
elaborated
elaborated
the
the
metamorphic
metamorphic
cryptography
cryptography
also
also
to
to
all
all
of
of
you.
you.
So
So
if
if
you
you
are
are
good
good
in
in
cryptography
cryptography
and
and
cryptography,
cryptography,
and
and
if
if
you
you
are
are
able
able
to
to
combine
combine
both
both
the
the
approach,
approach,
so
so
by
by
with
with
the
the
help
help
of
of
metamorphic
metamorphic
cryptography,
cryptography,
you
you
can
can
achieve
achieve
the
the
better
better
result,
result,
and
and
you
you
can
can
have
have
the
the
high
high
level
level
of
of
data
data
security
security
for
for
the
the
protection
protection
of
of
data.
data. And the objective of data
Data
security
security
is
is just
just
to
to
have
have
the
the
limitedly
limitedly
unauthorized
unauthorized
access,
access,
to
to
have
have
the
the
natural and accidental damage, and we have to devise the proper security mechanism of the access control. So that is all about the data security. If any question, you can ask.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice knowledge sharing, sir. We, how did you just elaborate all the things related to data security? We all, as a participants and faculty member of engineering colleges, engineering institutes, we never forget this your concept, the PANI concept of PANI, and you, as you discussed, the security challenges and acts and jobs related area. This will surely enhance the knowledge base and the domain knowledge related to this data security and management issues. So thank you, sir. Thank you for this nice session. Uh, our director want to
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hope the participant enjoyed the session.
yes, 100%, sir, 100%.
Normally, in the home participant is not getting the interest.
No, no, sir. Because of this end of the day, we are just they are just. But your session is very interesting, sir, and we all
We
very
learned
much
a lot and we learned so much knowledge.
we enjoyed a lot from your session, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
That's why I kept on the basics only. I do not move to the research direction because it is a vast field.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
So if
In future, we get the opportunity to interact face to face, then we will definitely enjoy the session.
100% sure, sir, sure, sir. Our
thank you, sir.
please.
Thank you, Tripathi sir. Tripathi sir, thank
Thank
you.
you very much. So nice of you. It was a very elaborative and nice talk.
Thank
And
you,
I
sir.
pray
Thank you.
Pranam sir.
for sure, for sure, for sure. I pray to the Lord that COVID will finish in the month of January only, and I will call you in the month of February. Then we will
Yes, sir.
have.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay. Participants are required to fill the attendance for this session as well as the feedback for this session also. Feedback's link is already shared. Attendance link and feedback link already shared to your chat box. Please. कनेक्टेड है ना आया कनेक्टेड है कि नहीं ग्रुप ग्रुप उसमें नहीं व्हाट्सएप पे नहीं भेजा उस पर ग्रुप मतलब चैट बॉक्स में आ गया देखिए नहीं आएगा ग्रुप में डाल रहे हैं
एक लिंक है एक लिंक
दो लिंक है एक अटेंडेंस का लिंक पहले भेजा था भेजा अटेंडेंस लिंक 2 बार भेजा था
अब दोबारा भेजेंगे ज्वाइन किया ना
अभी अब ज्वाइन किया ना तो
हाँ, बाद में ज्वाइन करेंगे तो आपसे मैसेज आएगा
सर सारे ग्रुप में भी डालिए पार्टिसिपेंट्स वाले में।
हाँ फीडबैक
कनेक्ट नहीं हो रहा है क्या करें वही वाला पुराना नंबर काउंसलिंग तो वही है।
ज्वाइन करी
अपना लॉगिन कर लिया।
तो वो तो ग्रुप तो वही है ना, पुराना ही डाल क्यों उठा, तो वही मॉर्निंग वाले तो है।
लिंक तो वही है। कहाँ आपने भेजा है? एक बार तो मैं इसको पूरा चेक कर लूँ।
है ना?
उस वाले में बोलिए उसमें।
सर आपने
हमारी
सर आप कर लीजिए माइक। ऑफ करिए माइक, ऑफ करिए, बाहर चलिए। Dear participants, this is we are just finishing our first day session, and we will join our session next day session of session 2, day 2, on 10 a.m. sharp morning. So please join the session, which is one of the resource person from JNU, Dean of JNU University, Professor D.K. Logial sir. So you all are requested to join the session, but that session will surely will increase your domain knowledge. Thank you all for joining this session. इसमें ग्रुप
इस रुकिए एक बार फिर से आ रहा है।
इसी में डाल देना।
हाँ, इसी को फिर से कॉपी करके फिर से डाल।
ग्रुप में डालना है, मतलब ये चैट बॉक्स और एक बार फीडबैक। आ गया? अरे ये कौन?
आपने सेशन की अटेंडेंस
सर अटेंडेंस पर
ये क्या है?
आ तो गया।
ये कौन है सर?
आप तो दोनों चैट बॉक्स में दोनों फिर से दोबारा रिपीट कर दिया। आया?
चैट बॉक्स में तो एक ही दिखा है। अच्छा आ गया।
दोनों है सर।
आ गया।
दोनों आ गया।
उसी वाले में सर आ जाइए। ये क्या रोहितास सर ने क्या किया इसमें?
ये वही था सर, लिंक था, सर का नहीं आ रहा था ना रिस्पॉन्स वाला,
किसमें?
डिलीट कर दिया।
आप डिलीट करिए, डिलीट फॉर ऑल।
इनको प्रश्न ही दे दीजिए।
नहीं यहाँ पे
डिलीट फॉर ऑल।
डिलीट फॉर ऑल।
डिलीट फॉर ऑल कर दीजिए। इस ग्रुप में आप लोग ना भेजिए।
डिलीट फॉर ऑल।
अटेंडेंस ये कॉपी करके डाल देना। ये चल रहा है ना, ये वाला पहले वाला लिंक, ये वाला लिंक चल रहा है ना।
ऑन करिए तब ना।
आपने इसको वहाँ पे वो हटा दिया?
दोनों फीडबैक और वो दोनों
हाँ,
हटाएंगे इस
ऑन
बात
कर दिया, ऑन कर दिया,
हाँ।
कर दिया, कर दिया। एक बार आप ये वाला इसको खोल के देख लीजिए ना, ये चल रहा है ना।
नहीं अभी जो आपने भेजा है सिर्फ उसको देख रहे हैं।
वो तो चल ही रहा है,
बस वही है।
चल रहा है ना। नहीं इसमें जाके ग्रुप में देखे तो ये वाला कॉपी करके वहीं डाल देते, वो खोलने रहने का। वहाँ चल रहा है ना ग्रुप, वहाँ तो आ गया ना आपका फीडबैक हो गया ना।
अटेंडेंस ना,
हाँ, जो पहले वाला
ये अटेंडेंस ये वाला
मॉर्निंग सेशन में दिया हुआ था 2:23।
जो आपने भेजा था।
एक इस पर है, इसमें नाम है।
और अटेंडेंस वाला आ गया। ये कर दिया फिर। सर ये सर लिंक क्रिएट हुआ
किसके लिए?
सर के टीम भेजा इन्होंने
हाँ,
डाल दिया
तो
हमने
क्या
नहीं डाल
अब मानिए हिंदू मानिए।
नहीं चलता, हो सकता है 1.5 GB खत्म हो गया हो।
वही हो जाता है।
नहीं इतना नहीं डेढ़ जीबी नहीं खत्म होगा क्योंकि और कोई काम तो करने रहे फिर चल रहा था।
नहीं सुबह हम 1.5-2 घंटे गाना चलाते हैं।
आया कि नहीं?
सर मूवमेंट हो रहा है, गोल गोल घूम रहा है।
आप लोग आए? मैं खुल गया ग्रुप में आया, ग्रुप में हाँ?
जाने वाले में क्लिक करके आ रहा है।
खुल गया सर, खुल गया।
चलिए ये तो ऑफ कर देना।
हाँ इसको क्लोज कर दीजिए।
पाँच बजे तक सुबह कितने बजे तक चलाना था उनको? 5 बजे तक चलाना था। आज 5:30 तक चलाना था, तो हम लोगों को 3:30 से 5:30
5:30
3 से था। 1.5 घंटा का सेशन था। फिर वो था कि फीडबैक और अटेंडेंस सेशन, अटेंडेंस सब भर ही रहे, चल ही रहा सेशन।
अभी नहीं चल रहा है।
मैं ये कह रहा था कि उसका आपने देखा
मदद हो रहा है।
सर रिचार्ज कराया है।
डेटा ज़्यादा यूज हो गया ना, तो
डाटा खत्म हो गया है, डाटा।
अच्छा, कल से थोड़ा सा प्लान चेंज किया है। दो मतलब 3 सेशन हो रहे हैं डेली। आप भाई 3 दिन है 3 सेशन, और ये 2 लास्ट डे है 2 सेशन। तो अब जैसे फैकल्टी का स्टेटस देख ही रहे हैं, अब अपने फैकल्टी तो बिजी रहते हैं, मतलब सब जगह यही चल रहा है, नाश्ता सबका चल रहा है। तो बच्चों को मतलब 3 सेक्शन बनाया होगा। सीए सेकंड ईयर का एक सेक्शन, आईटी सेकंड ईयर एक सेक्शन, और थर्ड ईयर का एक सेक्शन कंबाइंड, ये है। तो एक सेशन में तीनों को ज्वाइन करा देंगे, है ना, जिससे कि अपना मतलब वो इसके ऊपर टाइम के साथ अब टाइम लोग आज के दिन ही खाली 5:30 तक का है। कल से 10 से 12, 10 से 2 10, और 3 से 5 है। 3 से 5 का मतलब है कि बच्चे 4:30 में अगर जाते भी हैं तो बोलेगा तो ज्वाइन करते हुए रखे रहे, चाहे 5 बजे अपना बंद करेंगे 4:45 में। क्योंकि आज जैसे स्टेटस में 13 फैकल्टी बच गए थे, 13-14 लोग बचे थे ज्वाइन कर फैकल्टी देखने लगते हैं। तो कम से कम उन लोगों को बोल करके
लास्ट वाला
रखे रहे, मतलब 4:45 तक रुके रहे वो लोग, 4:45 तक। उससे 4:45 तो बज ही जाता है, लेकिन 4:45 तक रुके रहे। तो ये 3 सेशन का प्लान जो है कल का हमने बना लिया, डेट सबको दिखा दिया है, और मर्ज भी कर दिए क्लासेस कल की सेकंड ईयर की। पहले 3 सेक्शन की क्लास मर्ज कर दिए, और फिर बाद वाली क्लास में जो है वो लैब सेशन में आधा बच्चे बटे हैं, जिससे कि एक सेशन ज्वाइन हो जाएगा। तो सुबह में थर्ड ईयर को ज्वाइन कराएंगे, सेकंड ईयर को सेकंड हाफ में ज्वाइन करा लेंगे, जिससे कि आधे 2 बट के रहेंगे, उनका ज्वाइनिंग हो जाएगा। एक साथ 80 लोगों को ज्वाइन करा देंगे तो ओवरफ्लो हो जाएगा, तो वो भी नहीं करना है। तो बच्चे बराबर से दिखते रहे कि हाँ 50-60 लोग ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं। तो ये प्लान चलेगा, इसी प्लान को हम फॉलो करेंगे 3 दिन, अगले 3-4 दिन, ठीक है। राम कैलाश से थोड़ा सा इस वीक में मेरे लेक्चर थोड़ा कम होंगे या नहीं होंगे, मतलब जो है लेक्चर पे आप ही मतलब आपका दीप्ति मैडम जो दीप्ति मैडम को खाली इंट्रोडक्शन के लिए बुलाते हैं, तो पता है आप लोग संभाल रहे तभी चल रहा है, सारी चीजें चल रही है। तो हम लोग ये कह
कुछ
रहे हैं
ऐसा होगा
कमेंट के बोल दिया
सर, पहला दूसरा और तीसरा लेक्चर सेकेंड ईयर में कॉमन चलेगा। उसके बाद चौथे 5वें लेक्चर में सीएस के लोग क्लास करेंगे, सीएस वाले ये सब्जेक्ट है, और उसमें आईटी वाले एफडीपी में रहेंगे। उसके बाद जो है 6वें 7वें में आईटी की क्लास चलेगी, और सीएस वाले बच्चे 6वें 7वें में यहाँ पे रहेंगे। और थर्ड ईयर में पहला लेक्चर मैं लूँगा, दूसरे लेक्चर और तीसरे लेक्चर 10 बजे से शुरू होगा, तो 10 से 12 वाले में ये वाला ग्रुप आ जाएगा। फिर
तो खाली ग्रुप को क्लियर करना पड़ेगा।
हमारी इसलिए हो रहा है क्योंकि हरनान सर भी बिजी हैं, थोड़ा वो काम कर रहे हैं।
कमांड इसलिए कर रहे हैं क्योंकि फिर क्लास में पर्च करके लेना, और उन लोगों उसको जो समय पर जो निकाल करके ले रहे हैं, जो फैकल्टी इधर आ रहे हैं, तो फिर वो कर नहीं।
मतलब जो ज्वाइन करेंगे तो अलग अलग जाएंगे।
हाँ ज्वाइन करें, जब ज्वाइन कराना होगा तो अलग अलग कर देंगे।
टॉपिक में थोड़ा
तो
सा
ना लड़ने दो।
मतलब ऐसे कल के दिन का यही प्लान है, फिर कल देखेंगे परसों कैसे लैब कराना है कैसे, क्योंकि क्लास में ही
ये
तो
कल के टाइम टेबल के हिसाब से है।
कल के टाइम टेबल के हिसाब से है, तो थोड़ा तोड़ फोड़ भी करना होगा तो सब किया जाएगा। अभी तो जल्दी में एक दिन का बना लिया, कल कर लिया, अभी थोड़ा सा डिस्टर्ब तो हो गई लेक्चर, तो एक साथ सारी चीज़ें तो हो नहीं सकती है ना, अब अपडेट भी चल जाए, वो भी चल जाए, तो ये चलाना ही पड़ेगा। और सब लोग ज्वाइन करके छोड़ दीजिए लेक्चर को, कम से कम 10 लोग तो अपने कॉलेज के 15 लोग दिखते रहे, मतलब कम से कम 7-8 लोग हम ही लोग हैं।
चलो उसमें एक लैब क्या हम लोग रख सकते हैं क्या, नेट के लैब जैसे सिस्टम पे मोबाइल स्विच ऑफ हो जा रहा है एक्चुअली, डेटा उसका रखने तो कंटिन्यू चलता ही रहेगा, फिर तो उसमें कोई डिस्टर्बेंस नहीं होगा। मोबाइल तो बैटरी सबकी स्विच ऑफ हो जा रही है,
हाँ बिल्कुल
मोबाइल से थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिकली जो है समझ नहीं लगा है, हाँ तो कवर कर देंगे, लेकिन लास्ट में जो है वो कंटिन्यू कर नहीं पाएंगे पूरा।
वहीं पे उनके
देखो
सिस्टम
सिस्टम
उनको बोले, क्या नाम है वहाँ पे, अरुण जी लोग को बोल देते हैं कि जो आप लोग
तीन चार सिस्टम में जाए वहाँ तो लॉगिन करते हैं।
पांडे जी अभी तक लॉगिन है, जो पांडे जी लॉगिन है, तो धन्यवाद आप लोगों के लॉगिन करने के लिए।
नहीं तो मेरा वही वो
उसको जो लग रहा था खास तौर पर उसको मैंने बोला कि उसने वही मैसेज लिख के भेज दिया कि मेरे को प्रॉब्लम है।
करिए नहीं हो रहा तो फिर अब एक दो लोग करने से कोई उतना वो फर्क नहीं।
कोई से नहीं है सर, सब लोग ज्वाइन करें, मतलब उनसे ये सपोर्ट आपको
थोड़ा सा एक्टिव जैसे क्वेश्चन पूछने जो है थोड़ा सा एक्टिव होकर रहे।
हम लोग अब ऑनलाइन हो गए, इस समय में जो लोग जितना सपोर्ट दे सकते हैं जानने वालों से सपोर्ट ले लीजिए, और अपने ही लोगों को बोल करके कराया जा सकता है जो है, बस उससे ज़्यादा तो कर नहीं सकते हैं। अब सबका तो अपना अपना कार्यक्रम तो वही, वो तो बोले कि अब हम 5 दिन नहीं जाएंगे क्लास में, तो हम अभी जाना है ना, 5 दिन जो 4 पॉइंट बचा हुआ है वही हम ही सबसे लेट हो जाएंगे। तो जो भाई जिसकी जिम्मेदारी है उसको तो अपने हिसाब से करना ही है।
एक दिन ऐसा करिए ना सर, एक दिन इन लोग को जिम्मेदारी दे दीजिए,
नहीं सब लोग
अपना मैनेज करें, आप लीजिएगा उनका
सब लोग जो है रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, सामने आ रहे हैं। मतलब आज जो सबसे प्रॉब्लम हम लोगों ने फेस की है, जो प्रॉब्लम आज के दिन की है, वो है कि फैकल्टी हमारे जोड़ने में हम लोगों को दिक्कत है। तो अगर आप लोग थोड़ा थोड़ा भी सब लोगों को बोल दे, खाली ज्वाइन करके छोड़ दे, हम कोई फास्ट एंड हार्ड फास्ट लगा भी दे रहे हैं ना, कुछ हम लोग सेशन में डाल भी रहे हैं, खाली ज्वाइन हो जाएंगे, ज्वाइन होकर के रहेंगे, जिससे कि अपना सेशन चलता है ना। और उनसे बस क्या चाहिए, तो ये एक बैटरी रिचार्ज की जो प्रॉब्लम, मतलब मोबाइल रिचार्ज और बैटरी रिचार्ज, डेटा, और 3 दिन के मिलना है। और वो नहीं है कि उनको कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, इसमें एक का सर्टिफिकेट, एक जो है स्पॉन्सर सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाएगा। जब आप लोगों ने जब बोल करके ट्रेडिशनली सबको बोल के ज्वाइन करवाया, आप लोग का गोयल में हम लोगों ने ज्वाइन किया, हम लोगों ने किया, सारा काम नहीं किया। जब हम लोग इसी तरह सपोर्ट से तो सिस्टम चल सकता है सारा। भाई आपको जब जरूरत पड़ेगी कि 10 फैकल्टी चाहिए उनको ज्वाइन कराने के लिए किसी प्रोग्राम में, तो फिर हम लोग भी तो खड़े होंगे जगह पे कि सर उनको आए थे हमारे कॉलेज स्टाफ भी बोलेंगे कि सर वो ज्वाइन किया था हम लोगों ने, तो बोलने के बाद था, समझने के बाद है सर, बस।
तो सर गोयल से कितने हैं?
एक दिन
क्या ज्वाइन ब्रजेश पांडे ज्वाइन रहे थे हमारे, जो थे वो उन्होंने ज्वाइन किया था। बाकी का नाम आपके हम जानते नहीं थे ज़्यादा, 1-2 लोग ज्वाइन किए थे, लेकिन फिर 2-3 लोग वो तो डिपेंड करता है ना, एचओडी के जो है लग करके हमने आप लोगों को ज्वाइन कराया। हमको पता था कि हमें पता था कि भाई हम लोगों को भी आगे से जरूरत पड़ेगी।
ठीक सर,
चलिए इधर आइए जरा से 1 मिनट और, एक जरा भरपाई हमें कर लेने दीजिए।
अरे सर आइए आइए,
अरे एक भरपाई हमें कर लेने दीजिए। मॉर्निंग में हम लोग हमने आपको लोगों को